Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 307, and today we're doing battle with Norra Braum. And so this is our first video of the 4.2.0 patch, the 420 patch, if you will, and this is going to be our first showcase of the new cards from within the set. So if you're not familiar with the 4.2 patch, this is the first variety set that Riot has released. It's got about 10 new cards in it, along with balance changes, buffs, and nerfs to about another 10 cards, a nice little shake-up to the meta. I'm pretty excited to get to jump into this patch. And one of the first cards I was really excited to try out was the triple question mark down here, right? This old question mark guy down here. The lab secret is what we're bringing today. No, that's going to be the Banana Blaster. And I think the Banana Blaster is a fantastic unit, just not on its own, right? Getting a 2-2 for 2, killing off a unit for 4 mana, not that good of a deal. You can hopefully pick off a unit that's already taken a little bit of damage, but it's not something that we're going to be getting particularly excited about. And so the way that we are going to start looking towards the Banana Blaster is, well, how are we going to take advantage of this? How are we going to give it some bonus stats? And so that you can look towards something like Bard. You can look towards Targon with the new Kale cards that boost the units in your hand. You can look towards Ionia for the hand boosting stuff. But here today, we're going to be using the Spirits Unleashed. This is a way that I prefer to go about getting out the bonuses. If you're looking towards something like Chimes, or if you're looking towards something like the +1/+1 hand buff stuff, it can hit at the wrong time, right? If we play Bird on the first turn, it's not realistically going to hit our bonus unit here. And then if we're playing the hand buff stuff, if we haven't drawn the unit, then we don't necessarily get the bonus. But with the Spirits Unleashed giving the permanent bonuses to everything everywhere, if we draw the Banana Blaster late, then it's still going to have those bonus stats. And so that's the kind of core idea that we're looking with this deck, is we're wanting to use the Spirits Unleashed along with the Banana Blaster to get some good effective value. But that is not a deck. That is not enough. And so the new question is going to be, how can we take advantage of this Spirits Unleashed? And since we're in Bandle City, the best target is going to be with Norra and the portals. And so as we are out here just generating value with Norra and the portals, a lot of times the units are kind of crappy. You know, you summon a rando 2-2 for 2. You're not too excited about it, but with the bonus from the Spirits Unleashed, all of these summoned units get a little bit stronger and get a little bit more bonus time. And so a nice collection of synergies there. We have the Yordle Captain to provide the same synergies, giving our summoned units a bonus, and then the single copy of Gift of the Hearthblood to tie into both strategies, again, giving the units in our deck a bonus, while also drawing a card to potentially draw out some more portals. Otherwise, I feel like the other big topic to talk about within this deck is just the amount of value that you can generate out of Bandle City. And so with the nerf to Atrocity, the kind of core OTK card taken out of the game, ideally, it's probably gone. I don't think anyone's going to play it as a 7-mana slow. It does open up these real kind of grindfest style control decks, and so I think Norra Braum may have a little bit of a chance to shine. If not Norra Braum, then perhaps another Norra-based deck, as Norra tends to just put a bunch of portals on the board, hope that the portal units generate enough value. That's where your opponent's atrocities came into play, but ideally with that out of the format, we don't have to worry about it anymore. The last thing I do want to make note of within our deck is we are playing pack mentality. What I find in a lot of these Norra games is you get the full board of units, but then you can't actually do anything with them. The pack mentality does give us that big OTK style of attack, regardless of what turds we have summoned through the various portal shenanigans. And so that's the deck. That's what we'll be doing battle with today. But you know what we got to do before the battles begin. We got to go and turn something premium, and it is the time for the Banana Blaster. I checked it out. I was a little worried as Riot released the not Spirits Unleashed, they released Soul Cleave, and you couldn't turn it premium. I was afraid that the new set we weren't going to be able to turn premium, but not the case today. We're able to premium up our Banana Blaster. And let's do it. Let's get to blasting. Bananas going everywhere. Now, the one thing I haven't quite seen yet is how the playability works. And so it's kind of interesting with a Banana Blaster. If you look at the circle on the middle of the board, it tells you the amount of damage that it's going to do. It'll outright say This banana's dealing 2 damage. This banana's dealing 3 damage. And I thought you were going to be able to kind of combat trick it. And so if you cast it, your opponent does something, you might be able to play a combat trick and make it grow. I also thought if they killed your banana blaster with that thing on the stack, it wouldn't actually get to do any damage. And so I've been getting a little confused about it. Since we do have the blaster in hand, hopefully we'll get to show you exactly what I'm talking about, and we can get it cleared up for sure. And perfect. Getting to blasting right with those bonuses. So what are we going to do here? We're up against elites. I suspect we're going to look towards just quicken. I'm fine to not open attack. They don't have a lot of good plays on turn 2. But we're probably going to see the new Loyal Badger Bear here on turn 3. And so the board presence is going to change quickly into the favor of the opponent. What you got? Just a trusty Ramhound. Okay. We can hang, we can handle. Now, the question is, do we want to just go ahead and quicken? I was looking to get like just the maximum value play out of it, but I don't think so. If we're going to like see how this is going to sequence together, we'll want to add Norra, then next turn we're just going to Banana Blast, right? And so let's hold back on some of these other cards. All right, just go ahead and prevent the damage. Not that big of a deal. Now we can say look to Banana Blast the Ramhound, still get a good block on the Vanguard Defender, or we might realistically want to just kill off this Battlesmith. I don't think we want to be open attacking next turn. It's just the real problem, right? That new Loyal Badger Bear does get to block elusive, so it can block Norra, but if he had it, would he have played it on the previous turn? And that's kind of up in the air. And it doesn't attack well into the board we presented, but we'll get the Banana Blast on board so you can see the skill. It says it deals damage equal to my power 3. And so I would suspect if he now, say, single combats off the Banana Blaster, it should deal 0, but it's kind of interesting to me when you get to see you get to see that number right on the board. He's got it. We can manage. It's just not ideal. Oh. Guess at least he played his units out of order. But here comes an incoming Garen, I'm sure. Silverwing Vanguard. Okay. We should get a decent troll chant for the round. Adding in the Yordle Captain means he needs to hook it into a 4, or otherwise we can kill the Badger Bear. That's okay. That's okay. So we take a pretty reasonable chunk of damage, but opponent doesn't really get to take over the board. We're going to have plenty of blockers for the next round. We'll start getting some value out of the Yordle Captain. Not a terrible place. This annoying dum-dum blocking elusives. What a terrible time to be Norra, right? Opponent getting rando unit to block our elusives. Interesting with the Spirits Unleashed. I wasn't going to play it, but I was looking to just add the Teamaker, then next turn be able to both Three Sisters and Quicken, but getting the free kill on the Ramhound seems pretty good. Especially considering, like... oh. Okay. I'm going to say, especially considering next turn he's... not going to be able to kill us with the board he has. Like, even if he plays a unit here in Jarvan next turn, then we have the Three Sisters to prevent most of that. Oh, and just nothing? I wonder if he has 2 Jarvans in hand. Interesting. There's Jarvan. Not surprised to see him. So how do we want to go about this? We certainly want this this Badger Bear block. We don't have too much going on with Norra, but we got enough mana here for most of this stuff. Like, I don't care to lose the Yordle Captain. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, we can do this. We can say block with Norra, then just quicken her back. Don't think we need to Three Sisters on this round, or if we do, we can protect our Yordle Captain, but I think 2 turns from now, we're going to need... I guess either way, it's the same. If we either flash freeze now and get to keep our unit, or take the flash freeze on another combat. F, he still gets the Jarvan flip though? How's he surviving a combat? Oh, he was the one surviving, so he would have flipped and then been there for the end. Yeah, that's gross. All right, deck. Well, you gotta present us with some magic here. That Jarvan's gonna get nasty. I bet we get to boom him with Pokestick though. So see, here's one of the little combos we were hoping to pull off. Is the blaster now gets the bonus. He gets to okay. It's initially said 3 and then upgraded to 4. Right, he's gonna Cataclysm our Yordle Captain, and we get to Pokestick off the barrier. Maybe fam. I don't like that he still has 2 cards in hand. I feel like we're gonna be struggling here, but these are the tools that people need. The tools for success. Cythria, okay. Well, she just cancels out all of our attacks, and then if he has the second Jarvan, we're still dead. Oh, Gift of the Hearthblood, not bad. Champion Strength, that is bad. That one is bad. F. Alright. You gotta get us something good, Conchologist. I don't know what that something is, but we need it. Quicken is quite good. That'll cancel out one of these attacks. Oh no! Oh, I was thinking it would hit it with health. F. We fucked that up. We could have returned one of these dogs with the. We needed to do it. No, we didn't have time. Okay. Okay. All right. That's tough though. Without the Badger Bear, whatever he's called, blocker, loyal blocker, then we would have been able to pump out some more Norra tokens. But I kind of had in my head if we take this first quicken, we can quicken that guy away and start getting Norra attacks in, and then once you're able to generate those portals, you can just block forever. But weren't quite able to get out in front of it. All right, though. Next battle. Reasonable set of friends. I think we're okay to hang on to Banana Blaster. It should kill like every unit in his deck. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? We're out here playing against Elusives, Teemo Zoe. Why not just kill every unit in their deck? Alright, he still brings it. It's that in-bird. Were you hitting Chime? Interesting, though. Hitting the Spirits Unleashed. That's tough. With our Chime landing on Norra, I think that's the angle we want to take. It's very challenging for him to get a good combat against a 2-3 Norra here. So now he either just throws away a unit or gives us the free portal. Like, all of that's fantastic. That was a wonderful turn. But you do start to think, as you're playing against this deck that has just a ton of 1-health units in it, if you take that 2-bank into turn 3, you can Spirits Unleashed. And we do have the kind of follow-up power with the Banana Blaster as well. Blast him. What's he doing? Oh, I was wondering. It's like I thought he was playing some kind of horn, but he's got that. He's really just blasting that banana, huh? He's just blasting. Still bringing attacks. Okay. Let's just take all the banks. We'll drop a Spirits Unleashed now. Get the kill onto Thing, whatever that's called, onto Esmuth. Grow our Norra a little bit if we want. See what this troll chant gets us for a round, you know? Lots of positivity here. How bad can this guy's hand just suck? Like, I don't get what's happening this game. This has been exceptionally weird. All right, well, combat in a different way. We'll take it. I mean, we're grinding. He does have a few more cards in hand, but you don't get to completely see everything when we have the Banana Blaster as a value card, Pokestick as a value card, Teamaker as a value card. All of our units are boosted now, and we're getting the portals in our deck. Like, it's real, man. It's real what's happening. I'm not too excited about this Banana Blaster, though. It's a little slow. Like, I don't want to play Banana Blaster and then him just have a combat trick and completely get out of the combat. And so we'll keep it behind. It just sucks real bad if we try and deal 3 damage to a unit, he plays the combat trick, and then still gets to take all of the damage from the trick, or deal all the damage from the trick, I should say. Alright, let's wear him down. Grind it down a little bit. Going to deal the damage to the biggest one. That was the unit that was going to be threatening our Norra when she attacks on the next turn. And now we can try and just Banana Blast the Zoe. It's a lot harder for him to have a 2 health combat trick than a 1. We still feel that way with Braum? Probably not. Braum's ready to party. So give me them stats, please. Give me that Poro on the board. A little bit of 4/4 ready to attack. Good stuff. Alright, squad. So there's a pretty reasonable chance our Norra gets killed here, but it's not that big a deal. I feel like we're just super far ahead at this point. And if we're getting him to grind out combat tricks to not die, instead of playing combat tricks to win the game, I feel like we're getting more and more ahead. He does got a pretty strong elusive squad out here, though. Doesn't have any Christmas time Poros. That's the key. That's the big win, right? Getting them Christmas Poros running out. Harsh Wind's kind of cool. So again, I'm gonna drop the banana onto Esmuth. He's only got the 1 health. If he's gonna have a +2/+2 combat trick, shouldn't get him out of this to where if we try and Banana Blast the Zoe, we got to worry about it a little bit more. I don't approve. Bring in the Harsh Winds. Nice. We got any portals in here? Do not. It's a bummer we can't actually kill any of his units in this space. I'm curious if we shouldn't have sequenced this a little bit different, but it's okay. His blocks are booty. Got him. GG'd it real hard. Well done, Bust. That's where you're able to say, oh, fuck. That's where you say, oh, fuck. I was chit-chatting and a kitty cat just stuck his claws into my leg. Fucking standard Bust video. Come on, bud. You hungry? You hungry? Oh boy. Here he is. I don't think we haven't had this guy in the videos for a while. He says, what up, guys? What up, team? It says, I don't want to be on YouTube, bro. I just want some nuggets. Give me some of them kitty treats. All right, though. Garen Kale again. I assume that this is going to be elites. It's probably just elites with a little touch of Kale in it. So we'll have to see. How scary it is for our Norra. I mean, she can at least open attack on on turn 3 and probably be safe. I think that's where we're stuck. We don't get a ton out of attacking with Conchologist anyways. Oh, is he gonna single combat us? He's thinking on this real hard. Sharp sight. Alright. Well, you tried, Norra. You tried. At least he shouldn't be able to add any units to the board this turn. It's a bit of a perk. I'm gonna bank up and start doing Spirits Unleashed. We need to get it and get Braum going.
Ready for deployment.
Dude, what a lame-o. Trying to drop the tough units in front of our Spirits Unleashed. Don't approve, friend. I don't approve. Alright, what do we got? eyeballing this Poro snacks, right? As we're about to develop the Poro with Braum. That's the way to think about it. I see you, Norra, but you're just like a little bit slow now. We have this really good hook with Braum into the Battlesmith. It's not really good anymore, but we still get to generate a unit for the turn. Are we gonna look to Banana Blast something a little bit harder next turn, though? I don't. So if we say want to either, well, both of his units are 4s. Well, I mean, we could technically just hook in Garen, but we definitely don't want him getting a strike. Let's hook this thing. I feel like if we're going to Banana Blast something, it'll be the Battlesmith. Gross. All right. At least we got the Poro out of it. Wish we had a 6-attack unit so we could do some nasties with this this stress defense. But I mean, if he open attacks on us, we do still have the Banana Blaster into Garen, even if he flips. I think that's okay. Do we ever want to put a 4 in front of it? I don't think so. If he has a sharp sight, he's gonna. Okay, he's got 4 health. I was gonna say if he has a sharp sight, he's gonna get out of it, and if he has a, oh fuck, the Banana Blaster's only a 3. Shit. Maybe we did mess that up. Maybe we did. Maybe we did. Oops. I think we're still okay, but that's definitely sloppy. We should have just put the Conchologist in front. People out here expected me to do mathematics. Champion strength again? Come on, people. Come on. Well, I guess we have to play our less than champion strength kind of cards to try and survive the round. Gross. Our 6s don't even survive on anything. Damn. Champion strengths be tough. I was initially playing. Oh, I have the 1 copy of Buried in Ice. I was initially playing Buried in Ice. It's been, you know, reasonable as you go up against decks like Elites. That's why when I was playing in the last Open tournament, we played Elites with Rite of Negations in it. That was the way that you typically lost games with Elites, is when they just had that really big spell to shut you down. But I think if we're going to be playing Braum Norra against all of these Elites decks, we have to really stop and consider bringing in the Buried in Ice. I highly, highly recommend, if you are playing Elites, to just play Rite of Negation instead. Like, in my opinion, it's like, what does Kale really add to the deck? Not a whole lot. You know, your units are growing, but it's just another big dude, and you can get that same kind of big dude thing out of Jarvan, and Jarvan's even a little bit better at it, given that he has that capability to get those surprise attacks off of an open. Kale doesn't really add anything to me, and that if you're looking to play Kale, then that just missing out on the opportunities for better cards like Buried in or anything just out of the other factions. All right, though, but the curve continues. We should set this up to where the bird lands onto Braum, so he has that point of attack for some sweetness. Great pokey stick here in the event we face off against another Teemo. I dig it. I dig it. And there he is. You make mention and he appears. Oh. Ooh, Braum didn't get the stats, but we got the banana blast. Wonder if he's gonna have a follow-up. How sick is this gonna be if he plays Caitlyn and then we just blow her up next turn with a banana blaster? Oh, that can't feel good for opponent. Uh-oh. I don't feel like this is gonna feel good for opponent either. Let's see. Maybe we'll get to find out what happens if he's able to deal 3 damage to the blaster. If he just dies if it does 0. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. I kind of noticed real quick when we had the Yordle Captain on board before that it said 3 and then upgraded to 4. It was a little visual slowdown, and I'm pretty sure if the unit dies, it gets canceled. But you did good, friend. You killed off a Caitlyn. You got this Chump Wump down to 1 health, got it primed and ready to die to Spirits Unleashed. That's a good blast. That was a good blast. Maybe he'll play his 3rd Teemo, right? Alright, he plants the traps. He's going to attack. He's going to let us get that extra boom from the 2nd Spirits Unleashed. Not today. Where are we at? We can just drop Braum if we want. I think that's where we want to go. Adding in the 2nd Spirits Unleashed doesn't really add a whole lot. We probably want to keep a little bit of mana back for this Pokey Stick or for this Troll Chant. So all sounds reasonable. Braum dies here, it's not a big deal. We're just out here doing our value thing. Oh, jeez. All right, let's see how the traps bang. Well, not bad, not bad. I think we're still fine, but would have been cool to deal a bunch of damage there. Alright, and then are we just gonna build ourselves to this Buried in Ice? I don't even feel like we really need to. I mean, I guess we don't have a ton of option because we just don't have a bunch of dudes here, but I think we could be happy about it. Oh, did he see it? Okay, the Yordle Captain. I was like, we can prep onto the Buried in Ice and make it cost 8. The next turn we'll have 12 mana to do both Buried in the Ice and the big unit. I think that's where we want to be. So we're going to prep the Buried in Ice, just pass. I don't feel like he wants to attack into our massive squad here. Would we rather Banana Blast? I don't think so. So now maybe we can get him to spend some mana or something before we drop the Buried in Ice, get the big kill. Doing stuff. Looks like we're about to draw some cards. I'll hydrate. Got to be ready to squeeze my cheeks for whatever's about to happen here. Not gonna lie, dude, that wasn't very impressive. Was not impressed. Uh-oh, we're doing stuff. All right, I think we're good. I've stopped clinching. I've released the cheeks. I think we're gonna win, right here, right now. Uh-oh, we got 50 puff caps. Just take about 4 or 5 damage. Let's see how it goes. 3, 4, 5. Portaled into a unit. Good stuff. GG, my friend. The W has been marked for bust. Feels good. Victory is friends we made along the way. You've never said truer words, Braum. All right, we got the guy getting ready. He's getting ready for the Singleton Open as he brings forth the new card deck to where there's the 6 cost Shurima thing, right? If you have the 6 different champions, you get to put one into play for free. I like to think he's just getting ready for seasonals, though. Saying you gotta do a little bit of Singleton. One of the things I've been thinking of as we see Shurima pop its head is there was a deck for like a day to where Evelyn was using just take group shot, right? It's good against all these 1 health units. Where Evelyn was making use of like Voice of the Risen and using the card draw for the champion thing. And now that we have cards like the Forsaken Bakai and things like Steam getting upgraded, I think there's a very real chance that Evelyn can pop off. And so I'm curious to see how the Evelyn decks turn out over the next few days. I've never been a true Evelyn enjoyer, but I do feel like Steam is going to be a remarkable card now. So will be cool to see. Alright, whatever. Sucks to get hit, but at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. And if we get to Spirits Unleashed this next turn and clear out all the 1 health units anyways, then, you know, go us, go team. Good job, squad. See where that gets us. Sure. He's ready. Does he even play? It's like, is he even playing Udyr? I guess Udyr is in the mix. He's hitting all these stance swap cards. Udyr is in the mix. He's on the table. All right, Conchologist coming in. I think we'll just take the stress defense. Get us ready if a big champion comes down. I see what he's doing with the stances, and so with that unit, I'd have to get it pulled up. Let me see. I haven't been talking about it in the easiest of fashions, but it dies, right? It ends up killing itself unless you give it some kind of bonus. And so I see what the angle is here. I see. I've envisioned it. Where'd it go? Hang on, I got a little distracted. So the game is happening. Here we go, though. The Priestess of Desert Light. That's what this guy's deck's all built around. Round start, deal 4 to me. Then you draw a champion. If your deck had 6 different champions, you summon it instead. And then he's going to put the 0-2 regenerate stance on it and try and summon a champion every turn of the game. I got you. I see what you're doing. I have unlocked the mysteries of Vinny Vose's deck. Not bad, though. We got a couple portals in. We got the one Spirits Unleashed. I think we're doing okay. There it is. There's the unit. Huh. So how do we go about this? Let's just pass. He's going to put the stance on it, and then we can entomb it or something. Give us a little bit of time before the champions start to come out. Get the cancel on the boar stance as well. But that, we don't have a good answer to that dude, right? if he's summoning a champion every turn of the game, that's gonna be a problem. Oof. Look at these. Look at these caustic casks coming to the party. Too bad we didn't have our Yordle captain down before they decided to show up. And he makes no play. Interesting. I wonder what his angle is here. There's going to be a -2 to the team thing. Spirit Fire, Spirit Journey. Oh, just a flash freeze. Not enough to stop the big damage. GG, friend. I like what you're about. You get the award for the coolest deck of the day. Congrats. I marked it. I put it in the column coolest deck of the day. Then Evo's doing the champion summons. Bring that deck to Champions Unlimited, am I right? Champions Unlimited just rotated out. Yeah, interesting space. All right, so what do we got here? Hang on to Bird. Need a little bit better early game against the Sun Disk. The Sun Disk is a horrifically bad matchup. As we were talking about at the beginning of the video, like feeling a little bit better about playing something like Norra Braum because atrocities aren't in the format. The same kind of problem is what happens when you play against the Sun Disk, right? They just try to not die until you get to like turn 8 or turn 9, and then they just kill you all at once with the movie. We don't play well into that theme, and so we can try our best to aggro. We're certainly going to try and take this one down, but this is historically a monumentally terrible match. How would you feel if you're playing an Evelyn deck, you have the Ancient Prep, then the unit comes down, it's a 1 cost, so then it gets to activate your Steam. Put it in your head. This is where we're going when when we're playing Evelyn OTKs, right? Maybe. All right, the chime landed onto Braum again. He's not spectacular in this match. Just not. Our game plan with Braum and getting value out of him and controlling combats and getting the summon just does not line up well to the opponents of doing the Sun Disk. This guy, I feel like Avarosian Sentry's about to get rotated out of the game, right? They just pushed his mirror image over to Shadow Isles. I think you're done.
Well, aren't you the cutest thingamadee I ever did see?
All right, well, we're getting stats on board. We're going to spend our first 4 turns of mana all putting units down. That's not bad. You can make up worse strategies to do than that. I don't want to face off against his unit here, though. We are about to completely fill out our board. Just sacrificing this stuff is not going to give us the attackers we need to punch in. Interesting Banana Blaster. Is it just better than Braum? Probably not. The nice thing with Braum is he's able to hook in the Endless Devout and keep the opponent from getting the sarcophagus. It is a, reasonable tempo play, though, right? If you're looking to just banana blast the Endless Devout.
It's in a hop. Just let them sleep.
I was curious if he was going to no-block us and make us give up the Poro. He doesn't do it. Says, no thanks, fam. You can have your dude. This is not bad. I mean, this has gone much better than I had anticipated. Sure. Really can't imagine that he's worried about Braum. That's kind of skeptical of that play. Maybe he just doesn't have any champions and he's turboing on the Sun Disk or something, or he only has one champion. Or he really just wants to use the Endless Devout.
Come and get it.
What? He's really bringing it? I was like, there's no way you were just bringing the Rock Bear Shepherd. That doesn't make any sense. All right, see if we can't get that kill. Get this nice tempo attack next turn. So close to the lethal, but I still worry that it's not nearly as good as it looks. Definitely going to try and spike that portal. We got one portal in deck. We got the Portal Palooza on board in hand. Try and chunk in a little bit more damage here. Not looking good though. All right, well, if you just hit the portal, it doesn't matter, right? you just go in swinging.
I suppose you'll do.
Guess that works. I guess we could have protected our Banana Blaster instead. I don't think it super matters. Just gotta get those last points in.
You need not follow, but you will witness.
And we can't Buried in Ice on the next turn. It's a little bit of a bummer. We can look to Buried in Ice on our next attack token, but we can't set up a Buried in Ice for this next. Yeah, we can. We'll have 9 mana, right? Whew, I'm so bad at math, man. So bad. Tap out for something that doesn't matter, right? Play Zerath. I was thinking that'd be opponent just plays Zerath, Buried in Ice. Boom. Take a look, it's in a book, bro. Get reading Rainbowed. Oh, he's gonna do it. I'm feeling so good about it. He's gonna do it. The shot has been called. Let's see. Let's see, fam. God, we gotta watch the fucking movie, though. Oh, no. Did that get the flip? Oh, his Sun Disk is at 1. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I was going to say, because if the Sun Disk blows up, then Zerath does get to pop a unit. But, oh, oh, friend. Oh, friend. That can't feel good. Are we going to do it? We're going to watch a movie. That's for certain. All right. Portal number 1 landed. Got Portal Palooza number 2. It does not hit. And we are opening. All right, here they come. Opponent says, oh, fuck. I've got this Rite of Negation in my hand. Things went bad real fast. Oh, noes. Oh, noes. Feels good, though. Got me thinking. Can't wait. this coming May, Fast and the Furious 10 Part 1. I hope it's delightful. I hope it's delightful. I can't wait. It's I went and saw Ant-Man. It was okay. Ant-Man is he's a wonderful part of everyone in Kansas City's life. Paul Rudd is Kansas City's sweetheart. He's from the Kansas City area, so getting to see the Ant-Man up on the big screen, it's always a wonderful feel. I thought it was okay. I'm kind of burnt out on the Marvel movies. Like, I don't feel like any of them have been good outside of Thor since like the Avengers Endgame, and so it's they're just kind of like whatever now. Like the Doctor Strange was kind of meh. This one was also kind of meh, but it wasn't terrible. And that's kind of a letdown. But man, in the previews, they had the Fast and the Furious 10. I was afraid Fast and the Furious 10 was going to get canceled. Nobody wants to work with Vin Diesel, and he had his scuffle with The Rock. The Rock was removed. He doesn't do the franchise anymore. He only does Hobbs and Shaw. Jason Statham was in the movie though, which I thought was odd. But they apparently lost the director as well, and the director didn't want to deal with Vin Diesel either. But do what you got to do, man. I think it's a two-parter. They didn't call it like Fast 10 Part 2 or anything like that. They called it, I don't know, Fast 10 Family Forever or some shit. They said family like 800 times in the preview. It's oh god, I gotta play the Sun Disc again. It's like when the little kids start using a new word, and then the adults say it and it's not cool anymore. You say, you know, YOLO and bussin' and that slaps and all that kind of thing. And I feel like some movie executive caught wind of the memes that were coming around from saying family all the time, and they just fucking ruined it. So thanks, guys. Thanks. All right, what do we got going on here? This is not good. I think we take the Face Sprout. That's going to give us the opportunity to get the most aggressive options out of our cards. And I don't think we attack with Conchologist here. We just swing with Norra. And then we use the Spirits Unleashed a turn from now. Not having a way to take down the Rock Bear kinda sucks. These Banana Blasts aren't doing it. Maybe there's a world where he hooks the Conchologist with the Rock Bear Shepherd, right? Okay. We'll just have to try for it next turn. Timely Rockhopper, bro. But yeah, this is much more in line with how I expect these Sun Disc matchups to go. I mean, we just don't have the speed to get out in front of what they're trying to pull off. All right, get him, Banana. Banana hammocks coming at you. Wonder if he ever blocks with Xerath. Like, you can't just block with Xerath, right? He dies to a Pokey Stick, and so the attack there should be safe. How close is he to flipping? He's got 2 level ups, 2 ticks, 1 from flipping now. Oh, it's our previous opponent's favorite Buried in Ice turning up. Maybe we can just boom 2 opponents in a row. Alright, so the Troll Chant's not gonna do it. We need to if we're wanting here, we need to like Troll Chant Norra so that she doesn't die to the Xerath, right? I mean, we can still Troll Chant here, but it's not gonna be spectacular. Not gonna save the Banana Blaster. Now the The Zerath ticks will start in. It's like Nora will die to the next unit we play, but she's gotten to eat a couple of these landmarks.
Oh, steady if you please.
R.I.P. Nora. You fought hard, you fought valiantly, and I appreciate that. Okay, GG. But yeah, that's more along the lines of what you're going to see against the Sun Disc, is you aren't aggressive enough to take them down. We're just doing too much mid-rangey stuff, and it's just one of the worst matchups you'll run into. All right, part 2 of same story, different deck. And so again, we'll try. It's not as bad playing against Rise as it is playing against the Sun Disc. They don't have that same good interactivity suite. They have to spend a little bit more mana, and their deck is a little bit less consistent in the early game. And so you do have better opportunities to beat Rise as opposed to beating the Sun Disc, but it's not an ideal match. We're trying to be up against those mid-rangey matchups. What you got for us, friend? Gonna deploy a unit? Looks like he probably doesn't have anything going on.
The spirit gives to those who listen.
He's got a little something going on, I guess one could say. These conchologist hits have just been dog shit today. There's been so many sharesies in here. This is just the worst. It's just an actual pile of do-nothing. I mean, I guess we can flash freeze Rise with 3 sisters and then shatter him. Like, that's the extent of our interactivity package, but yeah, that's gross. Sure. I'd assume. Oh, I was gonna say I assume he'll block something, and then we could just banana blast the Eye of the Dragon down next turn. But he doesn't go for it. This is gonna be bad.
What right do I have?
Oh shit! Rise has 5 health. I thought he was a 2/4. Oh, so much. You don't even know anything about this game. You figure that's something you'd realize by now, but he doesn't have flow. So we got some real potential for him to actually have to block something now and get a takedown with one of our spells.
Off we go.
It's so tempting to drop that Spirits Unleashed, but if we play it just like advertises everything that's about to happen, and I don't feel like it ever works out. Oh, fucking A. Oh, wow, a Spirit Fire with double claws at the dragon. Okay. Okay, I guess. Oh, wow. Alright, well, we'll just top right that one. And so, an interesting set of games. And so we can pull this up and talk about it a little bit more. I think it's a deck that's in kind of an interesting space, right? We talked about this a little bit as we were playing like Zoe, Braum, Yumi, right? Just this really, really stat-heavy deck based on playing like Revnas and just getting these gigantic units on the board. And it's a deck that's really kind of like tuned in to the middle part of the meta, right? It can hold its own against aggro. You're probably a slight underdog, but you can definitely win the games. You're quite strong against the mid-rangey decks like Elites. You're able to go toe-to-toe against all of their stats. You can generate a bunch of units with portals and block stuff for a while. But at the top end against the certain kind of control decks, you just get smoked, right? If you're playing against something like the Sun Disc, if you're playing against Rise, used to be things like Tristana Atrocity, you just didn't really have any answers to when your opponent just has this giant over-the-top OTK style thing. And so you can slowly beat something like Heimerdinger Jace. It's not good, but it's beatable. But these things like the Sundisk and Rise aren't beatable. And so it's interesting where you kind of land just like right there in the middle. And it's going to be a matter of, kind of how the format shapes up if a deck like this can really hang. And so I feel like things would have looked a lot better if we had a little bit better time against elites. We lost whatever. I don't feel like elites is actually a bad matchup. You do run into some awkward spaces to where they have the new Badger Bear, but at the end of the day, without the champion's strength, they don't have too many ways to stop you. And if you have something like a Harsh Winds to stop two of the units out of a champion's strength, then you're typically able to kind of overcome. And so I think the question with a deck like this is, do you want to go kind of like all in on being good against the middle of the field, being good against a deck like elites, and then packing an additional copy of Buried in the Ice? I was also considering just playing It That Wanders or It That Stares, but not the 8 cost, right? The 8 cost that blows up all the landmarks or does the AoE. I think there's a fairly interesting space to where we're playing Buried in the Ice, that like Buried in the Ice landmark blow up kind of combo, since it is something that doubles up as being useful against the Sundisk and useful against the Rise. And so I don't know if that is enough to make those matchups, tolerable. I think you have to stop and ask yourself the question, do I accept that this matchup is so bad that there's just no reason to tech anything in against it? Or can you potentially push your win rate up to, like 45% by including that landmark removal? I'm not entirely certain. That's a question for another day. But that Buried in the Ice AoE combo is something that I did consider with this. But the main reason we are playing here today was to do our kind of initial analysis of the Banana Blaster, and I thought it was fine. I thought it carried its job well. I was exceptionally happy with it when it was a 3-3, but we did run into those awkward spaces to where it was just a 2-2 and didn't really do enough. And so I think the thing that we'll run into with the Banana Blaster is, are we able to fit it into a curve? Because that 4-drop space is very heavy, right? If we're looking at a lot of the decks that want to include a card like Banana Blaster, like with our deck, we're playing Braum and we're playing the Yordle Captain. If you want to include Poppy, she fits into that space. If you're looking towards some of the other factions, a lot of this hand buff stuff just tends to be a little bit expensive. And so you have to decide if what you're really wanting to get out of your 4-drop is the Banana Blaster. And I think the space with that is going to be where the deck I was also considering playing is just like a Poppy deck. And actually, you can we played this deck a long time ago. I don't expect anyone to remember it, but when Piparo first got his upgrade, we were looking at playing Piparo Yordles, and it was reasonable. It wasn't like better than Scouts. It wasn't the best usage of Poppy on that day, but it was a deck that had some game to it, because as you're playing these Bandle City decks, the amount of aggression is reasonable, especially when you're playing Piparo and Poppy and maybe Yordle Captain. And then you just have so much value between like Conchologist and Pokestick and Piparo generating a unit, and maybe you play Bandle City Mayor. You just have a lot of card generation and card draw in there, so you had some kind of really heavy value plays. But I think you have to start looking towards something like that. Is that where I want the Banana Blaster to be? Something tied in with Piparo, something that can play Inspired Light, but then maybe not necessarily playing Yordle Captain, because I think you'll run into this same problem to where if you try to play 3 copies of Poppy and 3 copies of Banana Blaster and 3 copies of Yordle Captain, that's just way too expensive. You're probably going to find yourself playing like 3 copies of Poppy, 1 copy of Banana Blaster, and then maybe manifesting it off of Piparo. And I think that is actually a pretty interesting kind of idea with Piparo, given that he can manifest a removal spell now. And so I think that's probably where it's going to go. I'm not sold on the hand buff. I'm not sold on using like Ionia or using Targon. I think this is going to either want to live with Spirits Unleashed, or it's going to want to live in a Yordle's deck, something that can use the 2-cost unit that gives the bonuses, and Paparo and maybe Poppy and maybe Yordle Captain. Just kind of some really consistent ways to get him up to 3 attack. But I think we got to really see having him be a 3/3 is quite good. Having him be a 2/2, pretty meh. And so, at least in terms of the rest of the deck, otherwise, the Braum Nora kind of thing is a little interesting. As I was like getting into the games, I was thinking like, what if we play Nora Swain? And then we use Nora Swain along with the Banana Blaster, but there's no ways to give him bonus attack with that. But I think there's still reasonable Nora decks in the meta. This probably isn't the best one that you can do. Buried in the Ice is something I would definitely consider adding in additional copies of. And then the Pack Mentality, we could probably drop down to 1 copy. But exciting stuff. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. And so I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. So this is Bustin' We. Thank you for being here.